Hello, 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 and good evening, good evening, divine ones. Welcome to another live. If you're new to me, I know I've gotten a lot of new friends and new followers here in the last few days. So if you're new to me, I am Jerome Braggs. I am an intuitive healer and channel, and I help people heal their lives and their bodies and experience higher levels, what I call more delicious levels of well being. Today, I am going to be doing a video to answer a question that I received from one of my followers who was asking about what to do to release all the hurt and the fear that they have based upon what's going on and with all the rioting and the protests and things like that. And they wanted to know some things they can do to release that energy. So I'm going to share with you 7 things you can do to release whatever energy you're feeling around all of this that may have you, whether you're anxious, whether you're frustrated, whether you're fearful, to release that energy and help you stay within your signature vibration, which is your soul's energy. Because when you stay in that energy, the more you stay in that energy, the more you'll be open to what the solutions are, and the more you will actually be able to affect change. One thing that we're not taught in our dominant institutions and our schoolings and all of that is that if you're not in your signature energy, if you're not in your signature vibration, if you're not in alignment with your soul's vibration, you will not be able to influence or affect positive change. You will actually be adding to the suffering, because everything is about energy first. And so it's not necessarily about what the action is you're doing, it's what the energy you're doing it with, right? And so we want to make sure that we are in our signature energy as much as possible so that we can be open to higher guidance for what we need to do. And we will also be in an energy that actually affects and influences positive change. So, hey, everybody, I see you all waving. And again, just some housekeeping here before we start. If you have a question when you're watching this video, please put your question under the video with hashtag Ask Jerome and then write your question. That lets me know that there's a question that I need to respond to. And if by chance I don't get to your question in this video, I'll try to do another video later and respond to that question. Also, these lives I'll be doing a live almost every day this month. These are my classrooms. I'm going to be teaching. So since I can't right now with the pandemic, I can't really hold live events around the country like I usually would do. These are my classrooms. So if you benefit in some way, in any way from this, and you feel so guided, please, send a loving donation. It would greatly not only be appreciated, but it will help me. And I have my Cash App information here. It's, $JBraggs40. And then PayPal is Jerome at JeromeBraggs.com. You do not have to give me to attend this. It would just be greatly appreciated, especially if you're getting any benefit out of things I've been sharing recently. So let's go straight into this. All right. So I talked to you a little bit about why it's important for you to be in your energy. And it's totally understandable if you're feeling any type of anxiety or any type of fear or any type of anger or any type of frustration. That's totally understandable if you're feeling this. So I don't want you to feel like, I don't want you to get into your consciousness that something's wrong with you if you're not, at a high vibration, or if you're not thinking positive thoughts. This is completely okay to feel what you feel, but you want to make sure that you don't stay in those feelings, that they don't linger for too long. You can feel them and express them, but they don't linger. And this is a kind of way that will help you, especially in high times of conflict. It is very important that you have practices that recenter you in the day, that recenter you back in your energy. So one of the first things that you want to do is you really want to spend more time in nature. This is highly important. Mother Earth is the great neutralizer of energy. She neutralizes energy. So when you spend time in nature, this is why you feel great when you're around trees. This is why you feel great when you do nature walks and when you're walking on the beach. This is why those things make you feel more at ease. They make you feel more relaxed. Mother Nature neutralizes your energy. So you want to make sure that you're spending a lot of time in nature. Go for a walk for 30 minutes to an hour every day. If you can do it barefoot, that would be even better. If you can't go for a full walk for 30 minutes barefoot, Go stand out in the grass if you have a yard. Go stand out in your yard barefoot for 5 to 10 minutes. This is called grounding. And what it's really doing is literally they've found that, the sages and psychics and mystics, we've known about this for a long time, but science is just now catching up, that there's literally scientific proof that doing that actually makes you calmer, it relaxes you, it improves your immune system, can improve your health, all of that. So what's actually happening energetically is you are passing energy down through the feet into Mother Earth. And you can almost even imagine that you're passing it all the way down through your feet into Mother Earth and down into the core, so that the core burns it up and recycles it into something useful for the earth. But literally go outside and stand outside barefoot and just take some deep breaths and stand in the grass or stand wherever you can, or stand on the beach. Especially if you can get by the beach or the ocean. This is the ocean and the beach are great neutralizers. We're just literally just breathe, stand barefoot, and let yourself, let the energy of the earth take the energy that you no longer need, and feel yourself relaxing. Right? This is what the ancient people, what our ancestors knew. This is why most of them moved through the world barefoot. This, not just because they didn't have the technology, but because they to make shoes and things, but also because they knew the importance of being connected to the earth, and that the earth neutralizes the energy. So you really want to spend time in nature. Again, go for walks and do this grounding exercise where you put your feet on the earth barefoot, not with socks, not with shoes, completely barefoot. So that's number one. Number two is breath work. So important. What ends up happening a lot of times when we feel stressed or we feel scared or we feel angry is the first thing that happens is we don't breathe deeply. And the reason that is because when we are in those energies, that is literally taking life away from us. The breath is life. And so when you're having these type of situations, and just like we're going through right now, where we're in a massive shift, especially in America, but really across the world, but we're in a massive shift, you want to take in as much life as possible and not withhold yourself from life. Again, when you're in fear, when you're in stress, when you're in worry, the first thing that happens is you kind of shut yourself down from life, and that's why you don't breathe well. So you want to make sure you're breathing in as much life as possible, right? And so do breath work. I highly recommend things like breath of dragon, the yoga breath, the one that's kind of in that is in and out rapidly, really making your diaphragm. YouTube that. You can do that breathing exercise. You can also look at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jerome. I have some breathing exercises on my channel as well that you can follow. You also can do some count breath exercises. So that's what I'm doing right now. Breath of fire. The breath of fire is it's also called breath of dragon, but I think it's called breath of fire more predominantly. So you can practice the breath of fire. That's what I'm doing right now. You can also do timed breaths where you take an inhale in for a count of 4. You hold the breath for a count of 4, and then you exhale out for a count of 5, and then you hold the exhale out for a count of 5, and then you do that for a day, and then you increase it by a count every day. So you do 4 and 5 today, and then tomorrow you do the inhale of 5, holding for 5, exhale for 6, hold out for 6, and increase it one time every day till you get to 20. Try to get to 20. That will really increase your ability to breathe life into you. And the more breath you get into the more you're not only are your organs and everything getting the oxygen that they need, but your nervous system will relax and your vibration will relax, right? And it will help you. And imagine almost when you're breathing out and you're exhaling, especially if you're doing breath of fire or you're doing the long count breath. When you're breathing out, imagine yourself breathing out the stress, exhaling out the worry, exhaling out everything you don't need, and inhaling everything you do need, right? If you need more relaxation, breathing in relaxation. If you need more feelings of safety and security, breathe that in. Imagine yourself breathing in what you need, breathing out what you don't, right? So breath work is highly important. It will really help you release whatever's in your energy field that is causing duress, and bring you back to a state of ease and peace. Okay. The third thing I want you to do is mirror work. I cannot say this enough. Mirror work is so important in these times. Getting in front of the mirror, looking in your eyes, and telling yourself what you need to hear. Mirror work does not work in theory, it only works in practice. You have to do it in order to see the benefits of it. And one of the things that right now, what some things you can do in the mirror, like one of the things I like to do is in the morning, get in front of the mirror, first thing, look myself in the eyes, tell myself 1 to 2 affirmations 10 times. And I'll breathe, take a deep breath in between each one and make sure I allow it to land in my body, and then continue to look in my eyes and say it again 10 times. And I do this at least when we're when I'm in a stressful situation, or in a situation of uncertainty, which this is right now. I like to do this mirror work exercises at least 3 times a day. So morning, afternoon, and night. This is highly important. One of the things, some of the affirmations I would highly recommend is life loves me. Life loves me. Life loves me. This is one of the truths of our soul that we have been highly disconnected from as human beings, but especially Black peoples. For anyone watching this, whether you're Black or not, that is an excellent one too, because we have been highly socialized out of that, and a lot of times we've been traumatized out of that as well. But especially Black folks, we have been really in all the institutions that we move in, especially in America, the understanding that life loves me, and that I don't have to do anything to make it love me, that I am lovable as I am, is a message that we have not been solidified in our consciousness, and we're not really holding consistently in our energy field. And when you hold it in your consciousness and it becomes centered in your vibration, miracles happen for you. Literally, they happen every day, all types of things. And this is the thing the one I would highly recommend that you work with is life loves me. Right? And I can promise you, even me just saying this right now, for a lot of you, it's like you feel this like, well, not really, because I've had this situation. If it loved me, why is this happening? It's happening because you don't believe it. It's happening because that has been disconnected from your belief system. And it's time to reconnect that. Another thing to do that, one of the things, well, I'll give you just one full one to do. Life loves me. The universe bears no ill will against me. All is well, and I am safe. Life loves me. The universe bears no ill will against me. All is well, and I am safe. And I am safe even if I can't see how right now. Put that in there. That would help your brain really hold it more. Even if I can't see how right now, all is well and I am safe. Life loves me. The universe bears no ill will against me. Even if I can't see how right now, all is well and I am safe. Mirror work 3 times a day, every day. Help recenter your energy back in the truth of your soul, and help your consciousness really rise up to the truth so you can manifest the truth more. That's another thing to do. Fourth thing to do, which is so important in these times, you guys, so important. We're socialized out of this in our society anyway, so it's harder to understand this, but especially when challenging times come up, it is so important to follow your joy, to get joy in your life every day. As a soul, joy is your medicine, and it is your purpose for being here. I literally can do a whole video series just on this. Joy is your purpose for being here, and it is a medicine. When you get disconnected from it, your vibration lowers dramatically, and you will not be of any service to anyone else positively, and you will not be of service to yourself. You'll start to manifest more suffering. You've got to have joy in your energy field. It is a magic. It literally changes and shifts things. So what I mean by that is like really do things that uplift you, that give you a sense of fulfillment. Like now's the time to really start focusing on your passions. Now's the time to really start focusing, spending more time with friends. I know we're in this pandemic, but if y'all have to get together and social distance 6 feet, do that. You need to get together with people who you love, who make you laugh and bring you joy. This is highly important in this time right now. You need to be connected to your joy, because another thing about the soul is when you have joy in your system, you open your channel up for higher guidance, for the higher solutions. So if you want to really be of positive assistance to what's going on in this world, if you really want to think about, if you really want to help be the change that ends racism, help be the change that shifts the planet and whatever else, you've got to be connected to your joy. Because when you're connected to your joy, that's when you'll hear the higher guidance from your guides. That's when you'll get guidance from angels. That's when your ancestors will speak more to you, and literally, like, the higher dimensions of wisdom open to you the more you are connected to joy. And they close to you the more you're not. So you want to get joy in. Also, joy keeps your nervous system clean, and it keeps it, from being stressed. When you just focus more on joy, you're not focused on frustration and what's worrying you. You're focused on what fulfills you and what feeds you. So you really want to focus on your joy as much as you can, especially in hard times. A lot of times when hard times come up, one of the first things we do is we stop focusing on our joy, and it makes things worse. So you want to get joy in. You may not be able to have all day be about joy, but do something. Watch one of your favorite TV shows. Call your best friend and have some good laughs for an hour. Go out to a restaurant if you can, or cook your favorite food, or write. If you're right, I'm a writer. I like to write. That fulfills me. That brings me joy. Sing, dance, like do something that centers joy in your body every day. It is so important. I can't stress this enough. Every day. So, number 5 is you want to meditate. Also, by the way, let me go back to joy, because this is the last thing I want to say about joy. When you are in joy, and the more you get joy in every day, you are going to raise your frequency, and you will be the frequency that when you enter a space raises other people's frequencies. The person who is has joy and is truly nourishing their own happiness when they enter a space, they raise the frequency of that room. They raise the frequency of that event. They raise the frequency of that relationship. And so instead of drawing the frequency down, you want to raise the frequency. So the more you have joy in you, the more you will raise the frequency of this experience. This is why it's so important for us to not just, especially activists, yes, do your activist work, but also do your joy work. So that when you show up for these protests, or when you show up for this conversation, or when you show up for this teaching or this class or whatever you're doing, and you have joy you bring a higher vibration to it, and you will affect people more positively than if you didn't. When you do not have joy, you bring the energy down, and the experience can't go up towards well-being. It will go down towards suffering in some type of way. This is the energetics behind this stuff. This is stuff that people were not learning in school, but this is how things actually work. This is how the real world really works. So this is one of the things you got to raise your energy, and one of the ways to release the sadness and the worry or the anger is to start to focus more on what fulfills you and what nourishes you and what brings you joy. And because last thing on joy, because what actually is supposed to happen with changes like this is you're supposed to put as much of the light of your soul in your body as you can, as much as the light of the soul as you can, as much of it. Like, you're supposed to kind of inundate and saturate your being with light, and joy saturates your being with light. So you saturate your being with light so that you can then take a dive into the darkness and bring the light to the dark. You don't take the dark to the dark and think you're going to turn the light on. It doesn't happen like that. You have to have the light, and then you take a dive into the dark. You kind of dive like this and back up. So you dive into the dark spaces, you bring the light to the space, and then you come back up and get more light for yourself, and then you dive back down. And eventually that place that you've dived down to will be light. This is how things actually transform. This is what the masters know. This is how the masters do things. And this is why it's taken us so long to effect positive change, because nobody's taught us how to do this type of stuff. You have to take care of yourself. You have to make sure you are filled with the light of your soul in order to show up and do the work. Fill yourself with light first, then show up. All right, so that's joy, right? So number 5 is meditate. It's time. I don't care if you've been meditating for years. Now it's time to meditate daily. Meditate daily. I'm not talking about 20 to 30 minutes a day. You don't have to do that. 5 minutes a day, but do it consistently and frequently. Meditation recenters your energy back into your signature vibration, back into your soul's energy. So that's the real purpose of meditation. It brings you back in tune with what your soul's vibration is. And so as you deeply breathe, and you don't have to do all the chakra meditations and all of that. You can if you want to, but just like literally just breathe, count your breaths, and relax, and allow your breathing to recalibrate your energy field. Okay. There's also another, a great meditation on my YouTube channel that I did around this time. If you have a lot of fear or worry or anxiety, and it actually will even work for anger, especially if you have a lot of anger as well around what's going on, you really want to try this meditation. It's an excellent meditation. It's on my YouTube channel. I may try to go find the links to those and put them back up under the comment section after this video is over. But you can go find it yourself. There's an amazing meditation that I've done that has worked for me, worked miracles for me, and a lot of my clients really enjoy this meditation. But it will help really clear your energy field of whatever fear you have, or whatever worry you have, or anxiety you have, and also anger. It is a great meditation. So go look at my YouTube and find that one. And I'll try to post it in here later under the comment section. So meditate. Now's the time to meditate more. You want to meditate every day, at least 5 minutes a day. For the best time to meditate, by the way, too, is in the morning when you first wake up. The reason why it's the best time to meditate is because meditation, you're trying to steal your mind. You want to steal your thoughts, because when you steal your thoughts, when your brain is not running thoughts, it raises your vibration. And also when there are space between your thoughts and your thoughts are still, that's when your higher self can drop in knowledge. That's when your guides can drop in knowledge to your consciousness. That's when that happens. But when your brain is running all the time, there's no space for them to drop in things. And that's why you don't receive a lot of guidance and things like that throughout the day. So meditation is a great time to do that. It raises your energy, it clears your energy field, and it opens your mind to receive higher guidance. That's why meditation is a great thing to use when you need answers for things. When you have answers, or you need some guidance for something, or you want a solution to something, meditate and see what comes through. So meditate, you guys, every day, 5 minutes. And again, in the morning, it's great because your brain is not as super active yet. Like after, once you've gotten your breakfast in and you start to look at your to-do list, your brain is going and it's going, and it's going to go all day, because that's what it's created to do, right? Before it gets off and running, like when you get up in the morning and you put your feet on the floor off the bed and you get up, go sit down somewhere and meditate before your brain gets super active. That's a perfect time. I promise you, if you just start this practice and you do it in the morning, right after you get out of the bed, you'll start to see you feel differently, you feel better, your days flow better, and you'll also start to receive more guidance. So try that. Number 6 is, and again, if you're just joining, if you have a question around this, like put hashtag ask Jerome and then write your questions. I don't see any questions coming through. I see a few comments, but I don't see any questions. So I'm assuming you all don't have any. So if you have any, put hashtag ask Jerome and then put your question and I'll try to respond to it. If I don't get to it in this video, I'll do a future video and answer it. So number 6 is to shield yourself. Now this is so important. This is really important in times of duress, in times of high challenge and crisis, which is what we're going through right now in this country. You really need to be shielding yourself, especially if you're empathic. And Black folks, if you've been watching my past videos I've been doing for the past few weeks, you know, Black folks, you are higher on the empathy scale. So you're higher on the empathic scale. It's very important that you especially, now this is for anyone, but especially Black folks, that you shield, because you are more susceptible to the energy that's going on in the environment. This is another reason why, it's happening, especially if you're in a high traffic area where a lot of this is going on, like Chicago, like New York, like Atlanta, where a lot of this energy is going and a lot of this unrest energy is out there. Again, if you're on the higher on the empathic scale, you pick up on this energy more than the average person, and it's going to affect your energy field more. And so it's really important that you have practices every day that you can shield yourself to where you can stay in your own energy. So one of my favorite shielding exercises to do for me is I'm not a big proponent of like the shields where you completely shield yourself and nothing comes in and nothing goes out, because then you may not get the learnings that you needed, that your soul is trying to get you. You may not get the blessings that come in. So this is this is the shielding that I do like to do. So you want to sit in, you can start this in the morning. Again, you can do this at the end of your meditation as an excellent time to do the shield. But you want to sit and you want to imagine that starting from the top of your head, the crown of your head, that there is a light, like a bright vibrating and a high vibrating, almost like it's like a electric, like light that comes in and then it flows all the way around you, and it forms a bubble around you, and it is a high vibration. It is super high. It feels, as it goes over you, it feels super good, like almost like you're receiving a massage or a really loving hug, right? And you want to imagine as it flows all the way over your body, it engulfs your body in like a bubble, and it's a high vibration bubble. So only things that are high vibration get to filter through this bubble. So nothing can come to you during this day. When you're doing this, you think you really put this in your consciousness. Nothing can come to you in this day that is not a match to this high vibration of this light bubble that's around you. And only what you want to send out will be sent out. No energy will be taken from you that you don't want to give, and no energy will be given to you that you don't want to receive. The only energy that is going to be given to you is going to be high vibration. The only thing that can come to you will be high vibration. I have seen this work wonders. I have seen me be in situations where people were, getting accosted or being, verbally or even physically sometimes. And I was in the same space and everybody in that space was happening, and it didn't happen to me. I have just seen this work wonders, you guys, seriously. But you've got to hold it. And even if you don't, and you can shield yourself before you go into any type of situation. Like if you're going to go to the protest, before you go out into the protest, shield yourself. If you're getting ready to go into a situation that you're worried about, shield yourself. If you're getting ready to go into the bank, shield yourself. Like, do a shield before you go into any situation, before you step into any new situation. And again, it's a high vibration shield. It's not like nothing can come in here, nothing can come out, because you want the good stuff to come. So the things that are going to come to me are high vibration when I'm in this shield, high vibration only. This is going to really help protect your energy field. It's going to protect you from the lower vibrations of worry. And because a lot of times what we're feeling, especially if you're on the high empathic side, a lot of times what you're feeling isn't really yours. You're picking up stuff from the environment, you're picking up stuff from other people around you. And when something like this is going on where a lot of people are gathering and they all have kind of the same type of energy, right? Where it's anger or it's frustration or something like that, then when that type of stuff happens, it sends out a big kind of energy burst around. And if you're empathic, you're going to pick up on it and it's going to rock your world. So you really want to learn how to shield, especially when stuff like this is going on. You want to be able to shield and protect your energy, and make sure you're in your energy and you receive what's nourishing and uplifting for your energy, and you don't receive anything that's not. So that's number 6, is to shield. And then the last thing I want you to do that's really important during these times, and you don't have to do all 7 of these things, by the way. You can pick a few of them. You can pick one of them that speaks to you, but you want to do whatever speaks to you. But you want to be consistent in it. We are in a very, very interesting time that's going to affect all of us in many ways. And so you want to make sure you're taking care of your energy, so that you can be of best service and that you can understand and you can be an open channel to hear what it is that your soul is asking you to do here. We're all not here to do the same things. We're all not here to offer the same things, but we are all here to serve the shift of this so that we can go to a higher dimension of love. We are here to that. But what is yours to do to contribute to the shift may be different from what's mine to do. So in order for you to hear that more, you really got to take care of your own energy so you can be an open channel to hear that. And the last thing to do, which is number 7, to release this energy, is to speak it, to not hold it in. You got to get it out. Like, energy is supposed to flow through you. It's to come in you and then out of you. And there are healthy ways to do that, right? So if you're worried or you're scared or you're angry, one of the things I love to do is to journal. It's important to journal every day and journal your feelings. This is what's called transference. Journaling is actually an energetic exercise of transference. So you are transferring the energy from your body out and onto the paper, and then it's out of your body, right? And so, one of the ways you speak up about it, if you don't do things like this, where you do videos or you teach and you can't get your feelings out like this, write, journal. And it's very important. Well, I won't say very important. I'll just say it's more beneficial when you are transferring through writing to do it by hand rather than writing on the computer. If you absolutely can't write by hand, if there's something going on physically and you can't write by hand, then you can do it on the computer. But if you can write by hand, you want to write it by hand because it is energetically coming through you, through the arm, out the arm, and onto the page. Right? And if any of you, if you've ever received a letter from someone and it was either a very loving letter or a very angry letter and you felt the energy behind it, that's why. Because they have literally transferred their energy of either love or anger or whatever onto that page. When you read something that somebody has, especially if they have like physically written it, you can feel the energy from where it's written. That's because this literally was transferred out of the body and onto the page. So you want to get it out of your system. So there's 2 steps. You want to get your anger out, or your fear out, or your worry out, or your rage out, or whatever it is. And you want to write it and write exactly what you're feeling, exactly what you're angry about. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't try to use nice words. Say exactly how it comes out. If you have to cuss, cuss. If you don't have to cuss, don't cuss. Like, just exactly what you want to say, exactly how it comes out. Write it down, and then take that piece of paper or those pieces of paper and then burn them. You're burning them as a full release from you. And you're burning it and returning it to the earth so that the earth can recycle that energy for the good of the planet somehow. But you want to speak up though, right? You don't want to hold again, I did a whole video series last month on the throat chakra. If there's something bothering you, or there's something, you want to say it. You want to speak up about it. You want to audibly share how you feel. And even if you're just in your home by yourself in your room, just sit down and say, I feel really scared. I don't feel safe, right? Allowing these feelings to come up and out the throat. This is also transference, right? Speak it out, write it down, and then burn it. And then that will also help that energy release from you as well. So, yeah, somebody's saying, yes, thousands of people protesting and the looting outside my window rocked my entire world. Yeah, that was, I hear you. That was direct for you, because it was right there by you. And also all the energy of all those people around you was indirect. So you just got rocked. And it's time to kind of reground yourself. And all of these things I've given you will recenter you, help recenter you back in that energy. Do what you can to stay safe, you guys. Do what you can to stay centered, no matter what you're called to do, whether you're called to be more hands-on with what's going on, or you're being called to be behind the scenes, or you're being called to do something else entirely. Take care of your energy. It's time for a deeper level of energetic self-care. And you all got this, and we need you centered in your highest energy so that we can make the shifts we need to make for the well-being of all of us. Until next time, you guys, I love you. Now go love yourself. Bye.